Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. It's Friday, which means it's time for Chibi Friday, and we're going to be finishing up Chibi Ahri. Yay! This is another thank you, Chibi, to one of my Twitch followers and Patreon members who made a significant donation toward my current savings project for the studio, which is to buy and install a utility sink. So I'm so grateful. And so this is Wolf's dog, Ahri. I'd also like to mention our charity of the month, which is Vegan Outreach. So for every unique viewer this month, I'll be making a 10 cents US dollars donation with a minimum of $10 and a maximum of $100. So please bring your friends. It's a great way to help animals without, you don't have to do anything but chill out with me. So, but if you also want to help animals through supporting Vegan Outreach, there's a little donate button as well. We have a goal of $10 there. So please support our charity if you can. Let's get started. So as you can see, we almost finished all the inking work, but I do want to add a little bit more to it. I think that probably the biggest thing I want to add, even though if I remember correctly, I started with doing a thick outline, the rest of the lines ended up being similar in, I think there's a little spot I can erase right here, being similar in size, and so I want to make an even thicker black outline. And I think what it is these thick lines around the eyes, which are that thick because that's how dog eyes are. They have those. Oh, Wolf is here. Hello, Wolf. Here's your baby. I don't know if you call your dog babies, but I call my dogs babies. So this thick line around, which is because of the anatomy of a dog, and then also this thick area also because of the anatomy. I want to do a thicker outline on this final drawing before I start adding marker to it. the filter caught your message. Bully. It doesn't know. It doesn't understand the context. Of course I'm going to allow this message. Okay, good. Yay. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we're on the same page in that respect. So I've got my two babies. One there, one over there. No, you can't see them at all, but they're in here as usual. They always just hang out with me everywhere. Wolf, how are you? I'm so happy to see you so early. Right at the start of the stream. Okay, hold on. I was watching another streamer right before this. So I was trying to find someone to raid at the end of the stream. And this person had kindly rated me the other day, but it turns out that we both stream until the same time. So that's why when she rated me the other day, I was getting ready to raid, and then we just raided as a larger group. But it was still fun to watch another stream. It's been, let's see, I gotta make sure my phone volume is down. It's been actually very reassuring to watch other streamers now, especially other art streamers, because I've been in a bubble for a while, just doing my own thing, and just it was enough that I could just get a regular schedule of streaming and get myself to actually show up to do it. And so I had not seen other streamers, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing the same stuff, so I'm not like weird or anything. So oh, you usually get off early on Fridays. Oh, nice. That's so nice. Oh, thank you for doing that. I feel like I love this idea because I feel like it's a web now, that I'm casting a line and we're connecting. And then everybody with me, and then everybody that we're connecting to through this line. And then I just love that. I love the community feeling. So I just never would have thought of it on my own though, because I'm actually quite overwhelmed. I'm at the perfect amount of busy, but I don't have time to just like think of these ideas on my own. So you guys helping me this year has been awesome. I'm so glad you've been enjoying the raids. Okay, so I'm going to use this size 1 graphic, Sakura Pigma graphic, and just do a big outline around the whole thing, and I think that'll probably be good, although there is this spot that I noticed. I want to see if that's just a spot I missed while erasing or if that's just something else. Nice idea, Exie. Yeah, and your idea for the YouTube shorts has been working awesome. I still get, I'd say every other short that I make. Oh, this is erasable. Yay! This little line I discovered that I missed last time. The shorts, I've been getting a new subscriber on YouTube. Like I'd say every other short or maybe every 3 shorts. And the YouTube algorithm is a complete mystery because I've got this one short that literally has 2 views and it was made weeks ago. On the other hand, a short I made just a few days ago already has over 1,500 views. I don't understand how it works, so I'm just like, just keep making them. Just keep making one a day or a couple a day, because I made 2 the other day because the streams were, the first and second half of the stream were such a different project. I was like, oh, well, just make 2 of them, but yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it seems like it. I found that it seems like, of course, who knows, but it seems like if the little preview image is a close-up of the art, instead of just like my hands down here like this or something, it seems to get more views, but not always, because I've only made like, I don't know how many I've made, maybe 10 or something? It's still a great idea. It doesn't take that much extra time, and it's helping me reach more people, so I'm just so grateful, because I was doing typical social media for years and years and years, and everybody was always like, well, it takes a while, you have to be patient, you have to be consistent, and I was doing it for years, so many years, and not reaching people. So, this is such a relief, because actually I don't really like regular social media. That's why I took myself on another break, because it was too much work for almost no reward. And I would rather be spending that time making my images. Yeah. Yeah, there are several places. There's actually, so I was looking it up, because I think you mentioned that before, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea, to upload the videos to other places. So I tried it, it wasn't really about the results, it was just about the, how does this logistically work to get it onto another platform. But so I just started trying it on my Facebook. But unfortunately, it takes more time than just making the shorts on YouTube, and I wasn't really getting much engagement. Of course, it's completely different demographic generally than TikTok, for instance, or Instagram, even though Instagram's owned by the same company. So for now, I was like, I'll just stick to YouTube, because YouTube is people watching videos. I mean, TikToks are videos too, but I have kept it in mind. But the thing I wanted to get to was there's actually, so maybe someday when I could afford it, it was just like you were saying, social media managers. You can actually hire a service that just automatically puts your shorts onto all these other sites for you. And I'm like, that would be awesome, but that's definitely out of my budget right now. Cannot afford such a thing. But this is fine, because this little bit of growth, I feel like, is what I was kind of after anyway. A sort of snowball effect is what I wanted, just a little bit at a time. So yeah, every day I still think like, oh, thank goodness I have Wolf and Exie supporting me with like business ideas. I never thought that would happen. So I'm quite happy with how this is looking with these thicker lines. But the way they are this thick using the graphic one, I'm not going to do the entire thing with this thick of a line. I'm going to keep it on the underside where gravity is pulling down, and I feel like having a thicker line where gravity is pulling down, in theory, obviously this is just a drawing, but in theory, gravity is pulling down from here, light is coming down from here, it's shadowy, it's heavier, so I like to put the thicker line on the bottom, especially when it's ending up like this, and so I'll go to a smaller pen for top end. Oh, yeah, if there's some way to do it without paying someone. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't multiple services doing such a thing, because I was just sort of Googling how to get YouTube shorts onto other platforms, and that showed up. So yeah, I would not be surprised if there aren't multiple different places or ways to do it, like businesses making money off of doing that, or just ways do it yourself kind of ways of doing it. Yay, thank you for looking into it for me. I spent so much time in my degree because I took several arts entrepreneurship classes, which were great. That's how I got my sort of brand, my logo, my slogan, all this stuff, and I love those because it really helps center me. So just even from a personal perspective, not even from a business perspective, I'm like, okay, this is what my focus is. This is what I want to sell. I want to sell happy art. I want to sell stuff that makes people smile, and it gives me direction and like an anchor. But then also I think it just looks nice because all my sites are all the same and whatnot. But it never really covered stuff like this, ideas like these. And it's probably just because this landscape, the internet landscape, is always changing so quickly that it's really hard to keep up with. On top of the fact of like making your own art and stuff and keeping up with your own ideas. Because of course the people teaching the courses are artists themselves, so they're just like, this is what worked for me. And I'm definitely doing stuff way different from any of my professors. The closest was my illustration professor. He's done some books before, but he did one children's book, one children's picture book, and I have his, it's on my shelf over there, I have his art book, just featuring his art, but he's done all kinds of different stuff, and he mostly focuses on little individual paintings these days, so... Oh, Exie is here. Hello. Oh, okay. Oh, I have to wake up. Wonder why I have to wake up early. But you don't have to tell me because you gotta go to bed. Spinning happy one. It still makes me laugh to see it. It's so funny. It's just so unexpected. Anyway, I hope you have a great night's rest. Good night. Sweet dreams. Oh, that's so nice that Exie popped in. Even though Exie needs to go to bed. It is very, very late there all the time when I'm streaming. It was interesting, the person I was checking out earlier to see if I might be able to raid them at like a raid in return kind of thing. She said she streams until 11. And I was like, I wonder what time it is now. And then she said, it's 9 now. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, because for me, it was like 2. No, wait. Yeah, it was 2, because it's 2:45 for me now. And then that's what made me realize, oh, we'll probably not be able to raid each other unless one of us changes our schedule. Since we basically stream, our streams end at the same time. Her stream starts before mine. It's coming along nicely. I am really liking how much more interesting the line work is. Sometimes when I rush stuff, I do end up skipping this step. Not really on purpose, but just because I'm rushing and I forget. But when I remember, I really like to make the line work as beautiful on its own as I can, and then that just has, it makes it an even more sturdy foundation for the rest of the work to sit upon, if that makes any sense. Oh, meeting with a friend. That'll be fun. Oh, bye! Actually, might have actually left by now, but so there's always a little bit of a delay. It is always a little bit harder to do this outline that I like to do on fluffy characters or people, just because to make it fluffy, it's better to have more disconnected lines. That looks fluffy. If it's all connected, it looks smooth rather than fluffy. But I think there's still little spaces between the lines. Oh, it doesn't want to autofocus. Camera, how come sometimes you are in a mood and other times you're cooperative? So you can see there's still a little bit of tapering of the line and space between the lines to keep that fluffy feeling even with a thicker line. This is smooth though. Top of the head is smooth. Now, these lines on the ears, other than this little smooth part, I think I'll add a little bit there. I'm gonna leave these fluffies alone. I think that, oh, it doesn't want to focus back down. It doesn't want to cooperate today. None. Okay, there. Although I want to hold it up, hold it back up anyway, so I can show you what I mean. These fluffies I'm gonna leave, because this is a little smaller area than, I mean, technically on the Chibi, it's the same size area, but I don't know if that makes sense. In my mind, it makes sense, so I'm leaving those ones. Plus, they're the topmost part of the figure, so that's another reason why I will leave it, so that it feels lighter. It feels lighter, and the gravity should be down here. It should feel heavier down here. In my mind. I don't know if that actually makes sense, but it makes sense to me. So that's how I have to say it. Let's see. Oh, I gotta switch. I've got the reference images up that Wolf sent me. Very, very, very useful. Nice and clear. So I'm just taking a peek before I think this is good. So I could put ink on the nose, but there's a big pink patch on the nose, so I'll actually do the nose with marker. And then that way it's lighter on the nose anyway at the top, and then darker on the bottom. Okay, so yeah. Let's start doing some markers. Okay, put my pens away. Get my swatch book out. Okay. So I wonder if I should start. So, Wolf, I've got this lovely image you sent of Ahri's eyes up close. So I think I'll start with them because they're so light colored, and I like to start with the, I pressed the side button instead of scrolling over. Okay, let me zoom in again. There we go. I like to start with the lightest color anyway, and her eyes are overall fairly light, though. It seems like, maybe you can confirm this, it almost seems like she has little blue patches or gray patches. So it seems like on the left side of the photo, there's a light gray patch at the bottom. And then on the right side of the photo, that eye has like a light gray patch on the top left of the eye. It doesn't seem like that would be due to lighting. Okay, excellent. Yay! I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's not just like a trick of the light or something. Wonderful. So that'll be the lightest color we start with. I don't think about it. If I want to do a blue or if I want to just do a gray, I think I might want to do a blue though, because the eyes are the most important part on any animal that has eyes, including humans. So doing a little bit more colorful, even though it might be more naturalistic to just choose a cool gray, I think I'd like to do that and leave the cool gray for her fur. But as I'm comparing colors, so I think it would either need to be this B41 or up here in the blue violet. I actually think this blue violet BV31 would be better. So let's start with that one. BV31. Of my huge set of markers, the blue violet is actually the least amount. There's only 6. And this one I have in a different, let's see, it's this one. I don't even have it in these square original ones. Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's a term for when colors genetically, because you can either get, you can like get one color or you can get the other color, or you can get splotches of the two colors, or you can get like a color that is completely intermixed of all, like both of the colors. So it seems like she's got the splotching thing going on in her eyes. All right, so that'll be, well, let's see, what shall I do? To make the transition smoother between the colors, I'm going to color the whole iris in with this blue to start, and then add these more warm yellow and even almost looks like a orangey brown around the outer edge. That way there won't be any sharp line where the two colors, where the blue is meeting with the yellowish colors. It'll be a smooth transition, or a smoother transition. So let's start with this. I do think that Ahri has very, very lovely, interesting iris colors. So many different colors. And the pattern on that outside, the outside edge of the iris is so distinct on top of the other ones. Now it almost seems like there's even a greenish color underneath. So let's see if we can get a little bit, just a touch of green, like this sort of background color in the yellow. It's very subtle, so I don't want anything too pigmented, or like, I don't really, this is a little too neon, but just some really, oh, maybe this one. Yeah, this might be nice. This is what I'm looking for. It's this yellow green 91. It's almost a brown. It's like a green tinted brown. Yellow green 91. And it's just sort of, I see it around the pupil. So I'm just going to do a little circle around the pupils of this color. Of course, we won't be able to get all the detail because of Chibi, so the eyes are only so big, but I'm going to try and pack in as much color as possible. So let's add a yellow. This is the point where I might go to an earth tone, but I think that something like one of these, this might be a little too much. Then again, it's an anime style chibi, so yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. There's only so much space anyway, so let's just go this yellow 26. Why 26? Okay, so I've got to avoid these bluish grayish patches. And try to preserve that little bit that I put of that green color. And this one's up in the top. Yeah, I think that's good. Oh, looks so cute. Looks like she has opposite eyes. One is colored up and one is colored down. We're not done yet though. We've still got this nice brown color that was starting to get to the point where I think I'll add one more marker color and then we'll do the rest with colored pencils to get a little bit more fine detail, especially if we sharpen it up to a really nice fine tip. So let's see. Where are my reds? Aha! Here's the earth tones anyway. I think that's what I meant by reds. I want these earth tones. One of these might be good. Ooh, maybe this one. E19. Let's do that one for this just barely edged part. E19. Oh, wow. Aw, yeah, I've seen the videos that you've posted of Ahri. She seems just as intelligent, able to understand what you want her to do and enjoy doing it as well. It's kind of like Chappie, only Chappie, if she sees another dog, then she just completely forgets her training. Ah! She did not really like other dogs at all. But when we're just practicing, you know, like sit, stay, come, all of these things, she's like so excited to do all the different commands. What kind of dog is Ahri again? I know you've told me before. I always forget. People tell me things and I forget, even when I'm the one who asked. Look how pretty this collection of caps is together. That's such a nice combo. Okay, so maybe I will do another marker color, but just to add some shadow on the top, showing that the eyelid is casting a shadow on the eye. So for the sake of the shadow, let's just do a cool gray, or keep it a little warm with like a neutral gray maybe. This cool gray is the coolest one. Neutral gray is one step down. I think we'll do neutral gray, so I don't want to cool her eyes off too much because she's alive, so we want it to be warm. So let's see, how dark do I want to go? I don't want to go too dark. How about N5? Let's just do N5, just for a little shadow here and here. Oh, Border Collie. Yeah, I should remember that. That's not like a rare dog. Maybe that's why, though. Border Collie. Yeah, Border Collies are so smart, too. Makes sense now. Well, it keeps making sense every time you tell me. That's what that's what it is. Border Collie. Ah, that's good. Just to give a little bit, maybe we'll bring this down a little bit over here too. Just give a little shadow. So we're not done, but this is the marker base for the eyes. So we shall move on to some other things. Probably the next thing will be pink, I think, or maybe the white parts of the coat actually. Let's zoom in on this other reference, the one that the pose is taken from. I'll take the colors from here as well. Well, okay. Yeah, I could try something. I can try whispering. I actually do want to make a little animation or something that I got the idea from David Peterson's stream where he had just like a little corner showing all of his different art. I don't want to put that on all the time, but I think it would be a nice be right back thing to have that and showing the different art that I do so that it's not just like sitting there boring. Like it could go through a 5-minute reel of my art, and then I guess if I could stream a video, then I could put like just a little free song on the background of that, and then that would work. Good idea. I didn't think about that. I'll try to be more quiet though when I come back, especially if people are listening on headphones now that you mention it. And I'm like, hey! They're like, oh God. Okay. Yeah, let's do so the next lightest color is definitely not the pink, but the white parts of the fur and even the gray, let me squint my eyes. Yeah, the gray parts of the fur too. Or at least the parts where gray and white seem to be intermingling. So, the fur in the reference image is actually fairly cool, but that's because it's in shadow. So, like I said, for a living being, especially a mammal, I think it's nice to use warmer colors. But that said, I still feel like this warm gray is a little too warm, so let's do toner gray. So it's one step down from the warm gray. And since it is white fur, I guess we should start with, should we start with 0 or should we start with 1? Because I always either choose 0 or 1 and then I take every other color from that point on. But she has up to black fur, and so I could actually use all of these for the white to the black. So I'll take 1 because I think, no, I'll take 0 because that'll be 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we'll start with 0, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Toner gray. I just thought of something else that could be funny. To announce that I'm coming back, like just a little like 10-second thing that gets louder and louder and louder, like a little fanfare or something like or whatever. Yeah, I'm still only in the 2nd month of doing. This is actually the end of the first 4 weeks of doing 2-hour streams, so I am learning so much. I'm always learning so much. This time learning about what goes into a 2-hour stream for me. So I'm not just learning, but figuring things out, because it's not like that knowledge existed. It's being created. Okay. So where shall I start? I prefer to start over here, just so that as my hand goes this way, being left-handed, I won't have to have my hand in the cold marker. It doesn't, the alcohol markers don't usually transfer if I get my hand in the wet marker and then I put it down somewhere else, but it, oh, Gesundheit, Chappie. Chappie just had to sneeze. It's just easier to move my hand across a dry piece of paper and also just doesn't feel weird. But I think that'll mean I'm going to use this smaller end of my marker because the tail has lots of streaks because it's so fluffy to show, so I need to make streaks instead of just filling in a big patch to show the fluffiness. Okay. Oh, someone came down the stairs, so Chappie barked. Don't bark, Chappie. She went over to the door. She's sniffing. She's trying to find the intruder. Okay. So it's fairly evenly lit here. The strongest light is coming from this side. So I'm just going to fill the whole body in up until this point. It's like indiscriminately. And this part of the tail is black, so I'm just skipping that. Did someone come in at your house, or she heard Chappie bark? They're feeling their energy across the distances. Oh, she heard the door squeak. It's so funny, we've had Chappie for maybe a year and a, no, is it? Yeah, like a year and a half-ish. But she's still starting to get, okay, so how can I say this? She was very, very, very timid when we first got her. And since she's come to live with us and has started to feel more comfortable in her environment and her routine, she has just grown exponentially in confidence. And so she never used to bark, but now just a little something like that, someone coming down the stairs outside the room would make her bark. Ah, it was Satuita. Hello. Are you all done? Seemed like it got nicer out there for doing gardening, especially since it was so snowy for several hours this morning. Okay, I'm switching back and forth between, although I'm finding that this smaller tip is drier than the bigger tip, but there's some areas like right here where, again, I want to save some of the paper, the natural paper color to be highlight. So I'm using the smaller end. But around here, the muzzle, I think I can just fill this all the way in, and up the forehead too. And across the cheeks. Where her, she has black patch. And that I don't need to add this light of a color to. I can just skip that. We're using this T0, the very lightest possible gray in this range. She's got just a gray patch over here, not a completely black patch. So we'll color this part in too. Yeah, once the compost bin is full, there's not really any point in getting more. It's better to leave it out there. There are some little white furs on this ear. I might actually bring them back with white gel pen at the end because they're so fine. But since I'm not sure exactly how that'll pan out once I add the other marker on top, I'll just go ahead and marker it in too. Okay, I think I got everywhere. Let's move on to the next color. T2, Terminator 2. I'm not even a particular fan of those movies, but whenever I see T2 or T3, I'm always like, Terminator. This is Terminator. Okay. So this can serve as a shadow color for the white areas of fur, but also as the beginning of the gray areas of fur, not shadow, but pigment in that case. So I've got to sort of think of both at the same time as I'm adding this. Oh, this one's much juicier than this one. Maybe I need to do a little refill on this one, if I remember. Okay, so shadow on the white, but the start of the gray. So this leg right here is a great example of how I have to, so this little part down toward the foot, that's just shadow, but here is the beginning of gray fur, and so this is actually pigment, even though it's all the same color at this point. Oh, how are we on time? Oh, okay. Sometimes I've been getting so into this that I forget about my break. And I do not want to do that. I don't want to mess up my future streaming by overdoing it on a current stream. And here is interesting because it's a combo. There's seems to be white fur, gray fur, or maybe it's white and black, but there's more white. Like it's a combination of colors, it seems like. But also it's in shadow, being on this side of the body with the light coming from this side. And I'm trying to move my marker in a way that helps show the lay of the fur. So the way sometimes it curves up, sometimes it comes down around the side of the body. Trying to use the marker to create that texture, not just color. Okay, this leg is almost all, it looks like the very front is little white mitten, but then this is gray. So color this all the way in. This part is so fun of making a chibi caricature of an animal. I love coloring in fur and feathers and just a different, what's the word for it? There's so much detail. And even though you're seeing, it's just like that Sherlock Holmes quote, you see, but you do not perceive. And it's not until I am drawing it like this that I truly perceive all the little nuances. That's the word I wanted. The little nuances of an animal's appearance. And I very much enjoy discovering that. Here, I'll show you, because you probably can't see from down here. Here is that second marker color, 2 steps up from the T0, and using the lines not just to create shadow and darker pigment, but also to create texture. Alright, but we got her face to do too. See, there's a lot of shadow under here. Her muzzle is casting a shadow on this bottom fluffy part. Your baby is coming to life. I mean, she's already alive, but your chibi baby's coming to life. Little chibi version. The little pocket Ahri. Oh, okay. Drive safely. Look at all those little rangers in there. I think it's going to take me a while to get used to. It's been months since I've made my first emoji, but it's just so nice to see them in use. It's the same kind of feeling I enjoyed when I sold buttons featuring my art, like little pinback buttons, at anime conventions. And it was just so nice, like people picking which ones they wanted and then they'd put them right on their backpack, right there. Like, they wouldn't wait until they got home or something, or back to their hotel room or whatever. They were like, it's going here, it's going on my hat, or whatever. Just seeing people actually making use and seeing my art become a part of their life in a little way. It's a similar kind of feeling, I think, when I see my emojis being used. I love that spinning still. Ah. And it looks so much better since XC so kindly offered to do the animation. I mean, it's nice that Twitch has an auto animate thing for someone who really, they don't know someone, or they just can't, they don't have the time or the ability. Like, maybe they just don't have the software or the know-how to find something that could do it online or whatever. Plus, it's just very convenient to be able to do that. Right there, when you're uploading your emote, it's like, oh, look, you can make the animated one right here 5 seconds later. But it has its limitations. It's sort of like it's better than nothing. It's good enough. But yeah, it looks so nice. I'm just watching it spin. Looks so nice. Okay. Anywhere else we need? Let's do some more on the ears. But I don't want to make it too dark on the ears because I need these to stand out, these lines. The fur. So here it looks like, so here's a black patch coming out, here's a white patch coming out, but on the ears it looks like there's mostly black fur, and then the white fur is just sort of like making its way out in between. That's just sort of the appearance that the way I interpret the appearance. So I want to not make it too dark so that it blends too much in once I really get the dark color down on there. And she's got this gray patch on her face, and I'm going to do a lot of texture lines here because it's not a solid gray. So I'm going to do my best to follow the direction of the fur as I see it. I just had a thought. It's going to be so satisfying at the end. I mean, it always is, but I just had a thought like, I can't wait to put that little highlight, boom, boom, boom on there. It's gonna look so good. I'm excited. Okay, and it looks like she has some little spots here. Little spots. Boop. Yeah. I've seen artists who actually do photorealistic, or even you could call it hyper-realistic portraits of people and animals, and it's like every strand of fur is absolutely exact. And even if, so some people might discredit an artist who, for instance, would take a photo and then create the art directly on top of that photo, just like tracing. But even that is just a huge undertaking, and I would never consider their final piece less than just because it used a tracing method, because it's still so much work to get it exactly perfect, even if you're working directly from an image like that. Yeah, for my chibis, we're gonna simplify. I think I still do much more detailed chibis than a lot of other people do. I didn't start doing it on purpose. I think it started happening because I was already doing chibis in high school, just using other people's tutorials. And then my chibis started evolving, and then at the same time, I'm starting to take my art classes in college, and so all this realism starts coming in, and so I've got these different things melding, and just accidentally started becoming this. I'm not unhappy about it, though. I'm actually quite happy with this interesting mix. Okay, I think I'm finally done with the T2 marker. Let's go to T4. So I think this will be more for adding some shadow for the secondary color. If there's the areas, so for instance right here under the body there's a big shadow here, and maybe like the back of this arm or something. I don't see too many. I guess there are some areas where there's a darker gray versus this black color, but I'm going to mostly focus on shading, I think. Of course, I'm just going to look at what I'm seeing and draw what I'm seeing more than anything else. Just have to think about it first, otherwise I can get lost. Oh, yay! Yay! I'm so glad you're enjoying it. I always hope, I started a couple years ago giving out to friends and family as birthday gifts Chibi certificates. Not too many people have redeemed them yet, but those who have, I wonder if they watched the live streams. I asked everybody, I always ask everybody because I just don't know how anybody would feel about having their pet live. I think most people would be happy to have their pet featured, but everybody so far has been like, oh yeah, I don't mind at all if you live stream it. I wonder if they watched the streams and saw their pet coming to life. Because it's fun for me bringing them to life as a chibi. So I feel like it would be pretty fun to watch. So what I'm ending up doing is adding sort of hints of what's to come with the black patches. It just started feeling like that's what I want to do, so I started doing that. Let's add a little bit more to the white part of the tail. This might be my favorite part of Ahri. Her tail is so cute. How it comes out flat and then shoop, like a waterfall down. And then this white, just this big white fluff, and then there's black right here. And then you couple this with her happy, adorable face. And it's almost unbearable to look at. She's so cute. I'm just adding there's these little tiny darker patches around the eye here. Oh, really? You got, so she really is the fluffiest girl. I love Fluffy. Even with people, like, whenever people ask me my opinion about whether they should cut their hair, I'm like, no, don't. I try not to be pushy if they're not asking my opinion, but if they're like, should I cut my hair? And I'm like, no, keep it long. I like the long hair. It looks so nice. Okay. I'm trying to remember to save a little edge here for the bottom of her jaw. You can just see a little bit of it. It's really easy to... I've already added a little bit more than I wanted. Right here. I mean, it's not terrible. We can add a little white on top too. Just trying to remember. And here's a place that actually just needs more shadow. It's another under the body area, so it's definitely a darker shadow. Then we'll do a little bit of like hatching to come down. Here, I have not done a hold it up to the camera in a little while. Here's how the little details are coming out so far. Just keep working and adding and adding. We've got 5 minutes until break time. And I shall do my best to not just burst back in when I come back. Not startle everyone. Yeah, I would like to find a time to make a little be right back video thing. It would be pretty easy. I just need a few hours probably to pick all the images, put them together, get it into a slideshow, find a royalty-free music that I like for my channel, and then boom. Okay, I might want to come back and add more, but let's move to the next color, because I think I'll know better if I want to add more once I've got the darker colors on here. Let's see. I think I'll use, oh, do I want this color? Yeah, I think I'll use this color as the base color for the black parts of her nose. And just like the coat colors, it won't be 100% precise, but I'm going to do my best to get this little pink patch. Alright, that's not bad. There. So this little white spot I left is going to be pink eventually. Okay, where else do we want this dark of a gray? It's actually probably not too many more places. I guess these spaces underneath the body, I might even take them darker than this eventually, but I'm pretty happy with the gray as far as the pigment of fur. The gray pigmented fur, not the gray shadowed fur. One of those times where I wonder if what I'm saying makes sense to anybody else. Basically, I'm just using this color to add shadows at this point. There's just a little bit extra darker spots here on the gray part of the face. Boop. And it comes out on the fluff too. And then here, there's like some gray parts transitioning into the black. So just add a little bit here too. Maybe coming up the chest here. Okay, once again, I might come back with this color later if it feels like it needs it. And we're going to the second darkest color. So I'm going to add some more shadow here, but oh, this is so dry on this side. I'm purposefully leaving this upper part lighter because what's actually happening, despite my lines here, is that there's fur coming down and actually lightening this part because it's the fur on the outside is blocking the shadow, the vision of the shadowy part on the inside. So that's why the darkest shadow is actually a little bit lower. Wow, this marker is so dry on this side though. This is another one I need to see if I have refills for some of my markers, but they're quite expensive, so I've just only been buying them when I really, really, really need them. This one is so dry, I almost think it might be worth it to see if I have some now that I can just dab on top. So let me see. T8. I'm going to check if I have a refill for T8. Heck yes, I do. So this will be fun. Oh, it's break time. But I'll do it and then I'll go on break. And then it can have time to soak into the marker while I'm on break. So I shall show the very, very easy way you can refill your Copic markers. Just get these refills. I have some of the older ones. This is the new version. I haven't even opened this one yet. T8. Oh, maybe I'll do that other one. What was it? T0? Yeah, I have all the toner grays. Excellent. So let's do T8 and T0. And then they can soak in while I'm on break. So I'm actually going to put Ahri in out of harm's way, because what can happen, I've found as I refill, is that it can still drip, or it can, like you open it and it goes choop, and a little splat of concentrated ink, basically, marker ink, flies out or something. And so I don't want that to happen. So, or if it happens, I want it to happen on here, not on the image that I'm working on. So, I'm gonna open that, and going to get into here. So I have not opened these yet. If I remember correctly, there was a big sale going on at some art supply place, and that's why I got a whole bunch of them, even though I didn't need them, even though usually I only buy them when I need them. But they were on super sale, so I was like, oh, I gotta get these now. Okay, so just unscrew the lid. See? This is the kind of thing I was talking about. The tip is covered with the ink, and so that kind of thing can happen, and then it can like splat out, but all you have to do is take this little tip and sort of tap it, and you can see, I don't know if you can see on the stream though, it's hard to do this and also show it to you, but you just let it soak in, and you can really see it soaking in. I don't know if you saw what happened, because it's focusing down. Let me see if I can get this to focus up here. And then I'll try it again. Okay, good. It's focused right on my head. Okay. So let's see if this shows. You get that, and then it... Did you see that? It soaks right in. So I just keep turning the marker over, like a quarter turn. Add a little drip. Turn it over. Add a little drip. And just keep doing this a few times, because it's taking this ink and soaking it up, not just in the tip, but into the reservoir inside. You can, of course, do this on both sides, but I'm finding it's only really an issue on this side, because you can overdo it and then it's too full and it puts out too much ink. So I think that's good enough for our purposes today for this one. That's the T8 done. So we shall cap it, and I'm going to set it this side down, because my table is actually angled. This side down, just so that it doesn't soak too much in case that wasn't enough. Okay, so we'll just set that down there, and then we'll do this one, the T0. Go. Oh, birds flying out right outside my window. Wow. Okay, uncap this one. Just put it on the end this time. Unscrew this. You should be careful because, yep, this one, it's harder to see because it's the T0, but this one also has ink all over the tip. Okay, so just tap it and turn it. And I love that Copic markers are refillable, because it takes quite a while to use up a refill this big, at least for me. So there's just so much less plastic waste, because you don't have to throw away these markers, the original marker, and then even this plastic that this comes in won't be thrown away or recycled or whatever for a very long time, because it holds plenty of ink. I'm so glad that I had the exact color. The exact colors I needed. Okay, I think that's good for that one, so cap this. P0. Cap this one. Oh, it took the end off of the other one. Boop. Okay, and then once again, I'm going to set it this side down so that it's slightly angled down on my angled table, drafting table. That way, just in case it's not enough, it won't soak too much in and leave it still dry. Okay, going to put this away. Awesome, so good. Oh, we'll bring Ahri back. Chibi Ahri. Whee! And I'm gonna put my be right back sign on, and I will try not to scare everybody when I come back. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Hey everyone, I'm wondering if this will help. I'm speaking quieter, but I'm also slowly turning up the volume directly on my mic so that maybe that would help with the transition from complete silence to my exuberant voice. I think it worked. I was watching the little, that little sound bar that says, like, it's green, it's yellow, it's red, it's too loud, or whatever. I'm almost always in the red, but anyway, I'm back. Hopefully that was a less jarring transition. Yeah, I really do want to make a Be Right Back video. I love the idea of putting the music on there. Ah, Sarah was here. Well, I shall wait until I hear from Sarah again to say hello. Yeah, I love it too. This is the type of environment I was really hoping to foster with my streams, is really friendly, like everybody's hanging out kind of thing. The check-ins is, I feel, an indication that's how it is. Or at least that's my hope, that's what it is an indication of. Okay, so we were on, so I'm going to put this back up here. I'm going to see if I can, so the shadow here and here is really grainy looking because of how dry the marker was. So I'm going to see if, I think it needed a lot more. Oh, wait, it's coming to life. Oh, yes. Wow, it made it very fine lines too. That's much better. I don't know if we'll be able to. Camera does not want to cooperate with me today. That's so much better. You can still see a little bit of the graininess over here, but then you can really see how it was able to make these really fine lines. So that's better. Maybe once it soaks in. Of course, I did a really fast one. I usually add a lot more ink than that when I'm doing a refill, but aw, thank you. Yay! I don't want to be too hopeful to think that, but you said it, so I can believe it. Somebody else said it. Somebody else said it. Yay! That makes me so happy to hear. That's such a nice thing of you to say. Thank you. Wow. Oops, it's not focusing. Camera. Dang camera. And it's actually pretty... Ah! I scratched my arm. Hold on. My arm was itchy and I scratched it, and now there's a little bit of blood coming out. Just got a tissue to... It's tiny. Oh, I didn't think that would happen. Didn't hurt. I'm not going to show you my tiny bloody wound, but I'm going to hold this on for a second. So I'm wearing a white shirt. I don't know if you've been able to see my arms. Here's my white shirt. It's my Deku shirt. It's one of... I think I have 2 Deku shirts from My Hero Academia. This is one of them. Panic. Oh, I just got my Fit Meter gold too. So I still check in on Wii Fit U every day. I've been using it since the first Wii Fit came out on Wii. And I'm like, may as well just keep going until I reach my ideal body composition. I still have maps to finish, so I'm like, keep uploading my distance and altitude in there too. I don't really use it for exercising anymore because I use the Ring Fit Adventure, which is sort of the spiritual successor on the Switch. Alright, hopefully that's good enough. Dang. Okay. Back to art. Hopefully, hold on. Using this nice bright light to make sure I didn't get any, I don't think I did, but get any blood on my fingers. Okay. Looks clean. All right, here we go. This is gonna be a really fun part because we're adding the dark black patches of fur, and it's just gonna be this huge leap, I'm sure. in Ahri's chibification. Okay. So here, there's a little bit of white fur on the tail intermingling. So I'm going to try to preserve that. But it's mostly black. And like I've said before, I'm not just doing a big color in. I'm using strokes so that I can get the texture as well. And if you're hearing a puppy snoring, that's Chappy, little dog Chappy. She's snoring. Tiny bits of fur poking out here. It's like it's just as much about adding color as it is about not adding color. Okay. I think that's, oh wait, this part makes more sense because it's black right there. Okay, next patch, we're just gonna go from back to front, adding these little patches, and definitely using hatching and lines to add them so that we can preserve this nice fluffy texture. Oh, my little cursor is right in the way of this patch. There. Won't be 100% precise, not just because that's not really how I work, but also because the markers can only get so small, and the proportions of the chibi anyway sort of entail a changing of certain elements in order to make them fit in these the unnatural shape that a chibi takes on. But I always hope by the end that I will have at least achieved enough of a resemblance that those differences are not a problem. They're not, maybe even not even noticeable at first glance. So like a lot of these patches are going to be way closer to each other than they naturally are. They might be smaller, or some of the smaller ones just might not make an appearance. And then like right here, the head is so big that it's covering up this part of the body, so there's like a patch right here at the base of her neck, and that just won't be visible because the head is so big on the chibi. Alright, I'm going to come back here on the side, and then a bigger one. So lovely. I love this fur pattern overall. Black and white, but then lots of gray. This is a really big patch. To be honest, I love animals so much, I think even the most ugliest animal, I would still think it's cute. Like those fish that people always post a picture of. That have like I think they're called blobfish. People call them blobfish. People are like, this is the ugliest animal in the world. I'm like, oh, look at it. Look at its little blobby nose. It's just living its life, trying to do its best. Or like hairless cats and stuff. Yeah, blobfish. Blobfish. And I wonder, all the pictures I've seen, I feel like, have been with the fish out of water, and so that's kind of unfair to judge its appearance. I've not gone out of my way to find out what a blobfish looks like underwater. So, I'm not complaining or anything, just saying that maybe it looks more elegant or cuter underwater than the sort of meme pictures that I've seen. Like, you know, there's like these couple of pictures that I've seen all the time because they're used for memes on the internet of blobfish. I'm adding shading to the nosy. I love shading animal noses. They're so often a very simplified, especially in anime style drawings or other caricaturized kind of art, but I think they're so intricate and it's not like I dislike human noses, but human noses are not as interesting. But like cat noses, and even, of course, other animals have incredible noses like tapirs or elephants, the blobfish. I don't know if that's a nose or what it is. Okay. I just wanted to add a little bit more lighter gray around this part of the, we'll call it the upper lip, where pretty much every dog has this transition from their nose to the bottom of their upper lip, and it's always dark right there. So I added some dark spots, but it felt like too much to just have that alone, so that's why I added a little bit more of a medium color in this range of grays. Okay. Making our way up through the rest of the face and the head. Most of the ear is black, but I'm trying to preserve some strokes of that lighter colored marker. And of course we can add white highlights on top later with white gel pen. I thought I might get done with this so fast that I would do the digitizing work, which is not really art making, it's just like making it into the digital version of the image. But her fur is so complicated that I feel like it's using the time up nicely, because I would much rather be streaming this stuff than me scanning an image. And although I think that it might be useful to people to see how I do that part of my art making, because that is a big part of it. So it's like whenever it has come to that, I'm like, well, I'm gonna show you how I scan this. I don't feel bad about it, but I much prefer to just have this kind of part. This part of the coloring is also nice. because we're using such a dark color that even if I take a moment to look at what I'm doing and the marker dries, you don't really see those overlap lines as much, just because the color is so dark. Okay, so in real life, the black patch on this side of the face comes way in from this corner of the eye. But since she's a chibi and has a gigantic eyes, I'm just going to bring it just barely outside of the eye. So otherwise it'll be over the nose. So that's the kind of thing I was talking about that has to change to fit the chibi anatomy. I can color this in pretty quickly because it's very, very black. Some wispy black fur coming down as it transitioned into a little bit more white fur. The patch comes down, let's see, down under the eye halfway and around like this. And then mingles with the gray like that. And there's like a big triangle. There we go. Yeah, let's I'm gonna go to a lighter color to add more of this gray. Or at least the mixing of white and black. It's hard to say for sure exactly what's going on here, but this looks like it should be much darker. So, added that in there. Now, going back to the T10, she still has this ear and a little bit on this side of the face too. The fluffy parts coming out. If you heard that ding, it was Aoife. I think she must have changed position and hit her claw on the table leg. Moving down. And I'm drawing and then I'm looking over at my reference and I'm looking back and I just keep looking back and forth because this is a very complicated layering of different colored furs. This black patch goes way down under this eye. It comes down to the nose, so bring it to about here. That's probably good. Maybe a little bit right there. Some little touches here. We can also use colored pencil for adding dark fur, but I don't want to use too much, especially on these areas like the ears, because colored pencil makes it really hard to use gel pen on top. So I want to use colored pencil selectively, keeping in mind where I want to use gel pen after that. Okay, so we're done with this darkest color. let's take a break from the gray so that I can refresh my eyes. Let's work on the pink, because we've also worked to the very darkest color, and I like to work light to dark, so let's get pink for the pink patch on the nose, and then the tongue and the gums. And actually what I'm seeing is the gums and the pink patch are a warmer pink, and then the tongue is a little bit of a darker pink, or a cooler pink, so that's a very interesting difference, and I would like to reflect that in my color choices. So these are actually in the reds section, and this is the red violet section. So I think to get that difference, it would be nice to choose maybe something like this R32 here to be the base color for the warmer pinks. And then this one might be nice, but it's also a bit vivid, but I guess it's not as bad as this other one at the top. But maybe this, oh, that might actually be nice. So this one is R32, red 32. This one is RV32, red violet 32. And as I flip back and forth, I feel like it is a nice match for the difference I'm seeing. So R and RV 32. RV 32 and R32. Wow, they just so happen to be one row stacked. They were stacked like this in my marker holding rack. Oh, welcome back! Yay, Sarah! Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a wonderful, refreshing shower. I suppose, so you just got back from walking the dogs. Was it an intense walk? Let's see. So this is the cooler one. So this is going on the tonguey. Oh, that's nice. Oh, hopefully Tom doesn't want to take a shower. 45 minutes. That's a nice walk. I'm so busy every day this year, and not even in the end of last year, that I haven't been able to do any really, like, ideally, if I didn't have any time obligations anywhere else, I would really love to do an hour walk with the dogs every day, but it's just, it takes so long, especially in the winter, because sometimes we have to put their jackets on, and if it's dark, we have to put their reflective vests on, and we have to put our own reflective vests on so the people don't run us over. It just takes so long. Well, at least you walk them at all. I think that's a great start. Don't need to, you know, I'm always working on my perfectionism, so I think that it's wonderful that you take them for walks at all. And even if it's not super consistent, you're always telling me that you're taking them on a walk, so they're definitely getting, it's not like this is the first walk you've ever given them, so. All right, guess I'll hold this up and show you. I am quite happy with the subtle difference that I wanted to get. The difference between the pink of the gums and the nose, which to my eye seem about the same, and then the pink of the tongue, which is a cooler pink. Camera, you halfway worked with me just now, camera. That's good though. It's good for all of you to get this like bonding, and you're all getting to exercise, and since it's your day off, you can be a little bit more relaxed. Or at least I imagine, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't assume anything, but. Okay, so let's add some shadow. RV34 seems like an excellent shadow color for RV32. Ooh, but the next in line for the R32 is definitely not going to work. This is way too red. We need a more pinkish color. So maybe this is in the chow markers. Well, I'll get it out. So chow markers are, which ones are they? I think they're the round ones. Anyway, I have to get it out of a different place. But I'll get this RV34 out. RV30. Where are you? There you are. 34. And my miscellaneous markers are in this. I don't know how much you can see. But it's like a scrapbooking case, and I've got miscellaneous collections of pens, and so like this, all these different kinds of pens and stuff. Oh yeah. So this is the type of marker, but I need a different color. Is it this one? RV, what did I want? I don't think this is the color. So I've got these two sets. It might be this one. But it looks like I have to actually get it out of the box to check. The only pink one in this set, and I don't think I have any other markers other than these. Isn't this a lovely rainbow? I love this. R22, is that what I was looking at? Oops, wrong way. I know what you mean though. Yeah, R22. Excellent. So I'm going to keep this out so I remember that this goes in there. So give me a second. Put this back though. Yeah, I've been... Since yesterday, I decided that we're going to start brushing the dog's teeth every day because Aoife has a cracked tooth and she has to have it removed. And we went through this with our previous dogs where it was so much of a struggle to brush their teeth. We always used it as an excuse not to do it, but then the dogs were the ones who suffered because they had to keep losing teeth and going under anesthesia and stuff, and I feel bad doing that. So I'm going to get it together, figure out how to brush their teeth in a way that they'll accept, so that at least it'll be a little bit longer between. Like, I don't imagine I'll be able to brush their teeth as well as I can brush my own teeth. But it'll be better than not doing it all, and not doing it at all. And so I've been thinking a lot about that. How can I, going to your statement, how relax, what that, that's how I feel. I was like, well, if I cut out my gaming window every day, I have a 1 hour gaming window, and it's actually lucky if I actually get to do 1 hour. It's usually more like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Oh, we can allow this because it's what's this, an acronym? Boom. Yeah, I've been thinking the same way. Maybe I'll cut that out, but then I'm like, no, we're not cutting that out, because if I don't have that little break after working all day and take the dogs on a walk, which I consider sort of work thing, I make sure to do it before dinner so that I actually do it, although that still doesn't always work, but I needed something to help me stop so that I'm not going to bed with my mind full of work and like no chance to shut down for the night. So yeah, it's actually really hard for me to relax sometimes because I have so much going on all the time. There's always so much in my mind and things I want to do. And in the past, I've always been really bad about stuff like, oh, it won't take very long, I'll do this thing, and then I go into bed like 2 hours late because it actually took way longer than I thought. But I also was like, well, I started, I may as well finish. And so I always have these excuses. Anyway, I completely appreciate what you put in there. Yeah, little you time. That's what I need. That's funny that you say that too. Taika's a chewer, so he scrapes his plaque away just fine. I was talking about that with my husband because the vet, so we had it was just a regular checkup, but we were concerned about Aoife because she has some swelling on her face. And so they did Aoife first, and then when they did Chappie's exam, They were like, oh, is she a chewer? And we didn't ask why, but we were like, yeah. And they didn't really say anything after that. But now that's our theory, or at least that's my theory, is they asked if she's a chewer because her teeth are cleaner than Aoife's, because she is a chewer. Yeah. I've gotten it really under control, though. I'm really proud of myself. That was one of the hardest New Year's resolutions. It sounds ridiculous, but it was one of the hardest New Year's resolutions I ever set. Was last year saying that I was going to play Animal Crossing every day. Like, allowing myself that was so hard. Even though, like, who's going to stop me? No one's going to stop me. But I felt, like, so guilty, like, I should be working, or just like hesitant. Like, I didn't even want to tell people that I made that my goal because it felt like they would ridicule me or something, you know, like not like they would actively do it, but just in my head. This is the stuff going in my head. But ever since then, it was like such a relief. It's so nice. And so when I was thinking of that yesterday, like, well, if I get rid of my gaming window, then that's time to brush their teeth. And I'm like, no, we're not getting rid of the gaming window. We're keeping the gaming window. In fact, I need to protect it more because I have not been protecting it, and it's been getting smaller and smaller. And then I go to bed and I'm not relaxed. But it doesn't have to be perfect. Even that doesn't have to be perfect. No perfectionism, just always trying to get better. Yeah, there's a difference between perfectionism and just trying to improve. Whatever the arena. So I want to add, that was a big ramble. I want to add a third shadow color to the tongue and the other pink areas. I want to show you because now with the shadow colors on there, it's even more distinct, the difference between the colors. But it is getting really vibrant. Looking at these darker, I'm holding it under the chat box. Looking at these darker ones, it's a little too vibrant, so I think I'm actually going to go to the earth tones to get a shadow that it's a bit more toned down. Since in the shadow, the color doesn't show up as well anyway, the pigment sort of disappears. Yeah, it's hard to go back if you don't finish. Yep, I had to start. That was another big thing that I had to learn how to do it in little chunks, because everything I want to do can't be done in a single day anyway. Even if I were to spend like 16 hours working on an illustration all in one go, it's just not possible. And there's too many things, like it needs time to dry if I'm doing watercolor, for instance. And plus it's totally unhealthy to work like that, though I have done pieces like that, and then they like completely drain me and I don't make work for like another 6 months. So yeah, I had to learn and teach my brain. We'll work on a little chunk every day. And now that I've finally gotten into that rhythm, it's like taken a couple of years, basically since graduation. So that was December 2021. Basically since graduation, I've been figuring it out and teaching myself. I think this might be a good shadow color for the tongue. I don't know how much it will show up, but let's just try it and see. It's E04. Yeah, being able to stop and come back to something. I've made way more work and been happier with that work ever since I finally figured out how to do that. Well, it's not really figuring it out. It really is just building a habit. So this color is not dark enough. It's actually making it lighter as it mixes with this darker color. So let's look for a different one. These are too red, I think, other than this E04 that I just tried. So we're going to go to the next page. Wow, am I going to finish this stream? Because there's only 15 minutes left. I thought it would... It's because I'm having such a great time chatting with everybody. Alright, so the pink, we don't want it to be... Maybe this color... Or maybe... Oh, I just had a great idea. Maybe we'll just use gray. Because it's in shadow. We have this toner gray anyway. Let's just layer the toner gray on top. Is T4 dark enough? It might not be dark enough. Let's try T6. Just a little bit in the middle to test. Oh, that's too dark. There. And you can barely tell because I would put it where the black ink was anyway. So we go down to the T4 and see what that's. Oh, that's way better. Woo, that's perfect. Yay. And of course we can use colored pencil. Oh yeah, colored pencil. Wow, we'll see if we finish this today. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. I'm actually taking this original color and adding more on top now to get a more subtle level of shadow to be in between this when it was put on the first time. Now it's putting on a second time. So we'll have multiple levels of shadow here. I'm glad you like that. That's how I am all the time. It's like, it's not just for stream. I just am an excitable. Things that make me happy, I like to express my happiness, even if it's some little small thing. Like this morning, I just yelped in excitement when I saw that it was snowing as I was getting ready to go on my run. I was like, ah, it's snowing. Let's see. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong page. That's why this is not looking right. Okay, so this was our base color. This was our secondary, like our first level of shadow color. I think, though, I want to do the same thing as I did for the tongue, but I'll use a slightly lighter color using the toner gray to make it darker in areas. Especially inside the teeth, because the teeth will definitely be causing a shadow, and plus it's farther inside the mouth. Okay, now we're going to take the T4. I'm not going to rush this, even if we don't finish today. There's always next week, and if it doesn't take very long next week, I will just have another project prepared. Okay, so doing the same thing, taking that original color to make a sort of in the middle, in between this and this kind of shadow. Okay, this is such a small little part. I'm just going to see if my camera will autofocus. No, it won't, so click the button. Alright, so there's how the mouth is looking so far. I haven't done anything on the nosy. So let's work on the nosy some. It seems quite subtle, so I'm actually just going to start with doing a second layer of this initial color and see if that's enough. Because this is such a tiny, tiny patch, I don't want to overdo it. Little bit on the outside there. Yeah, I think I'll leave it just with this. So let's see if I can. Yay, I love it when it autofocuses, so you can see just little subtle difference. And this time it won't autofocus down. It's like it gets in a mood, and sometimes it's really loving the stream and it'll autofocus up, down, up, down, up, down. Other times I have to press the button almost every single time. Okay, 10 minutes left. At the very least, we should be able to get marker done. We're super close. I think the only thing I'd like to do is add a bit more. Although maybe I should do it with colored pencil because there's a lot of individual strands of fur that you can see in this area where it's like gray, black, white, gray, black, white, and it's really, 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 really mixed up. As opposed to say like this little area on the back of the leg is mostly white furs, and then it's more like there's just, you see the shadows cast by the fluffy fluffiness. But maybe that's enough, and we can get a little bit of colored pencil work today, even if we don't finish. So we got the eyes, and I wanted to add more detail to the eyes with colored pencil. I think the mouth is looking really good. I guess the only thing, the teeth need some shading. So I think I'm gonna use this eye color. I want to look at the swatch first, just to be sure. This is, oh, it's yellow green. Yellow green. Wait, it's this way. Yellow green, 91. Yeah, let's just see what this looks like. It's just a little touch. It's barely even noticeable that there's shadow on the teeth, or at the very least the chibi teeth are so tiny that there's hardly any room for shadow. Yeah, let's add a little bit of gray on top of that. Is T4 going to be too much? Let's start with T2 just in case the T4 is too much. See if, oh, it autofocused. I think you can see this is very, very, very subtle difference with adding some shading to the larger teeth. Seven minutes left. I do feel marker work is done, so let's move the markers over to the side. We can get a fair bit of colored pencil work done. I mean, who knows? If we get enough done, maybe I'll stream for just like a little 5 minutes, because after colored pencil work is gel pen, white gel pen, and that does not take very long at all. But again, like I said, I don't want to rush either. So if I can't get, okay, I want to make sure that I'm not getting, because now I have colored pencils here, so I don't want this to get stuck under here without me noticing. There. Put my gaff tape up there, like that. So like I said, I don't want to rush. So if it seems like it'll take more than 5 minutes to finish it up, okay, maybe I don't put that there, put it out there. Then I shall just finish it up next week and have another project ready to go, because it definitely won't take 2 hours to finish this, 2 more hours. Okay, I want to start with the eyes. Takes longer to find an uncapped gel pen. Sometimes that's very true. Especially if it's a thing you don't use very much. And you're like, where is that thing? I just need to do this one little thing with it. Okay, I'm zooming super in on Ahri's eyes. This lovely reference that Wolf gave me. I want to make the most of it with my, I mean, we only have this tiny little space to work in, but. So I just zoomed in on this eye, and so we'll add some stuff. Ooh, I feel like this is a nice color for going around the pupil. There's so many colors in her eyes. Man, that alone already, oh, wow. I like it, I like it. But let's add some little white, actually. There's this little patch that's being lit up, I think. So it's already this light blue color, and then it's being lit up. right there. And then if we can find a greenish, yeah, oh, maybe, oh, this one. Sort of greenish yellow. The color name is bronze. For around the pupil in these areas. And then a nice toasty warm. You can't see it as much in this eye as you can in this eye, but a nice toasty warm brown at the very edge, the very outside edge of the iris. In fact, you can't really even see it on this side, on this reference image that I'm working from, so we'll just like that. Okay, and then maybe I'm going to take the black colored pencil to deepen the black on the pupil. Of course, using all this colored pencil in the eye is going to make it tough for the gel pen to go on, but it's not impossible. You just have to work it a lot more, especially if you're not trying to do lines. If you just are able to tap and create a circle, then it's a lot easier to use on top of colored pencils. I'm also going to take the black here where there's shadow from the eyelid cast onto the eyeball. Okay, now you can see the difference of, oh, thank you, camera, with the colored pencil one, and this one is still awaiting some colored pencil. I derided my camera and it started to comply with my wishes. Auto-focusing up and down. Okay, the other eye. So, this nice blue color near the pupil. And then this greenish, this bronze color. I guess for an eye, in humans you'd call it hazel, so it's probably, you could probably call this hazel for any other person with an eye too. This nice hazel color. Then this lovely warm, and you can really see on this side, all along the edge of the iris. Ah, looks good. Let's see, a little white here too. And here on the iris, I actually much prefer to use colored pencil than white gel pen, because this is a more subtle brightness as opposed to a highlight from a light reflecting on a, like in the case of an eye, a wet surface. Colored pencil gives you a more soft brightness. Oh, we're at time, so I'm definitely not going to get this done today because there's so much I want to do on the body. But I will at least finish the eyes. I'm not going to stop mid-eye because it'll be so much work to try to remember which colors I was using and stuff. So I'll add this black on here for shadow, the eyelid overhanging the eyeball. I think that looks good. Okay, so first I'll show you the close-up of, camera doesn't want to work again. Close-up of the eyes. I just added the details using colored pencil. And then here's the overall look of how far we got on Chibi Ahri today. Another solid 2 hours work. It's because she has this lovely fur pattern. So she needs extra attention. So it'll take a little longer to chibify. Ta-da! There she is. Getting so close to done. We just need to add the details in the fur, and then my favorite, adding the purple colored pencil to areas of shadow, then add the nice white highlights to like the eyes and the nose and the tongue. So not too much more. I'll have 2 projects ready for next Chibi Friday. Okay, so let's see if there's somebody we can raid, because we are done for today, so let's raid someone. Let's see, I gotta get my Twitch app open on my phone. Oh, look. Oh, she's still streaming. The person that I was going to raid back after she raided me, like I think last week, she's still streaming, so let's try raiding her. So it's called Sea Crafts by Celia. So let me go to I have to go to my channel and go into my own stream so I can see the chat. And /raid Sea Crafts by Celia. Hopefully I'm spelling it right. Alright, here we go. Starting the raid. Yay! Less than 10 seconds. 3 of us going. Alright, while it's counting down, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. It was so much fun, as usual, to stream with all of you and chat with you the whole time. I hope that you all have a great weekend. Let's go raid! Alright, so for anybody still on my channel right now or watching the recording on YouTube, that is it for me. I'm going to sign off now. I hope to see you next week. I'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you for watching.